Hi there, welcome back to my channel, Whispering Willow Oracle. Today I'm going to be looking at your current energies. So what's going on in your recent past, present, and future. These messages are timeless, so whenever you come across this video, there might be something here for you. Remember to only take the messages that resonate and leave what doesn't. Alright, I'd like to thank the angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light for providing the collective with clear messages today. I think you've come to a decision on something, almost like you had a lot of choices here in the past and you finally decided to make a decision about one. It may have been about a partnership. It may have been about, or it may be like a round of abundance is coming to an end. Not that, that doesn't sound amazing to say, but abundance is not always a good thing. And please, listen to what I have to say about that, because I met this woman once and she was, very into spiritualism and like she's a very witchy woman. Really liked her. Her and her husband were wonderful people. And I hadn't seen them in a few months, or it was like almost a year. And when I ran into her and asked her how she was doing, and she was like, well, I asked the universe for abundance this year, and what I got was an abundance of shit. And I don't know why that made me laugh, like not at her misfortune, of course. I felt really awful that, her and her husband hadn't been having the best year. But it actually stuck with me for a long time because she kind of even said afterwards, she's like, I guess if you're not specific about your manifestations, you get what the universe gives you. And although I think that that's not always true, and I don't think that it was that she or her husband did anything to deserve that. I think that it was just what they needed to go through, what they had to go through, what the cycles of life are, because we can't always be in abundance of like good things. Sometimes we have an abundance of difficulties, and I'm not saying that that's coming here, but I'm saying that I feel like there was a period of time where you almost had too many options, and it could have been too many options in love. I am feeling like maybe you had too many options in love and like too many insincere people who were kind of wasting your time. And that's not good either, right? Like people always say like having a lot of selection is a good thing, but it's not always a good thing, because humans have a really hard time sometimes making decisions or choosing things. And this is another example that I have from my life right now, is my sister is, buying her first car, and she's so indecisive, but it's because it's such a huge purchase and it's such a big deal, and if she makes the wrong decision, so she's got all these she has a lot of options, but that's almost overwhelming for her, in a sense that if she just actually didn't have as many options and was a little bit more limited in what she could or couldn't buy, and of course she's limited by a budget, but still, even within that budget, like there's so many options, right? You can get used, you can get new, and I don't really know why I'm telling all these stories, but it might have something to do with this, because I'm getting that you've either come to your decision and picked one out of the many, or somehow all of these options have dwindled down, and you might be feeling like, oh wow, well I had so many options, and that was what you perceived as a good thing, but really it wasn't a good thing because it was wasting your time. Yeah, so I think it was very difficult for you to walk away from these options and to limit yourself in your choice, but I think ultimately it is going to be for the best. It's going to be what you need, and it's going to slow your life down a little bit. And it may have been that you were stretching yourself too thin, or you had too many obligations, or too many engagements, or too many places that you had to be. Maybe you were juggling multiple jobs, you may have been juggling multiple volunteering responsibility or family responsibilities, or it could be that you were just, you know, had, like I said, I'm kind of going back to the whole like you may have been single and dating, and maybe you were dating a couple of people not very seriously, and now someone wants to be exclusive, and you're kind of like having a hard time walking away from having all of this abundance of options, because you're like, all of them are great options, but which is the best one? And I think that that's more about getting to know yourself. It's not so much about getting to know each option and getting to know what is, you know, on someone else's terms, the best, because everyone has a different perception about what the best is. I mean, back to the car example, the car that's going to be most suitable for my sister isn't going to be the most suitable for someone else. Even if you take away the price factor, even if you say, oh, you have unlimited resources, the best car for her is still not going to be the same car for someone else who has unlimited resources. And it's the same with relationship. Like the person I am in love with, the person I love, and the person who I'm with is perfect for me, but he's not going to be perfect for you, you know? And I think that that's very, very reasonable. So this isn't so much about you understanding the options and feeling bad about the options have left. This is more about you reflecting on what it is that you want, and not about what other people want or what other people deem best for you. And I think that's going to take you some time and some solitude and some deep reflection. It's like you're going on this inner journey here because you encountered this kind of like anguish over having too much, having too many options. It really made you realize that you didn't know what it was that you wanted, because in the long term, you couldn't have them all, right? You had to make a decision. And so in that decision, that struggle in that decision made you realize that you really don't know yourself. And I think, you know, there's some shadows within you that you need to confront here, and you're going deep inside of yourself to do that. It's really going to be beneficial for you to contemplate these things, to go in. I think you're very, very afraid here of what you'll find in your subconscious. I think, yeah, we have the Lovers on the bottom of this card. So I think that you have a choice to make, but what is required of you to make the right choice is actually very difficult for a lot of people, which is confronting their shadow, confronting their demons, confronting their trauma, getting to the root of their trauma. What is it that you truly want and that will make you happy? You'll never really know that if you're always masking. If you're always masking who you truly are, who your true self is, and if you're not comfortable with yourself, if you're not comfortable in your own skin, you're never really going to know yourself, because you're constantly going to be avoiding the parts of yourself that make you uncomfortable. And we all have that. We all do. There's not a single person in this world who doesn't have that. Great achievement. It's a great achievement to explore yourself, to explore your psyche, and then we have joyous fun. It can be fun, you know, and it actually really can be, because it's not only about finding the dark parts, it's also about finding the really brilliant, beautiful parts that we forgot about who we were when we were children, right? Like going back to our spirit as a child, like who were we? What did we want? What made us happy? A lot of the times, like, life brings us in so many different directions, and we don't have the time as adults to really like get in touch with that side of ourselves. But I think part of what's really important when you do shadow work isn't just always doing shadow work, isn't always just reflecting on like the trauma and the negativity. You have to mix in, just like anything else, it needs to be balanced. It needs to be, we have back and forth here, it needs to be balanced with positivity and with happiness and joy and fun and growth, because what's the point of going through these challenges if it's not for something? And the whole point of it is to grow. And in that growth, I think we find more happiness and more joy, more satisfaction and contentment as we grow closer to our enlightenment. I'm going to leave that message here. If it resonated, leave a comment, give a like to the video, subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this, and hopefully I'll catch you in a future video. Take care. Bye now.